Hello, I'm Antoinette Van Zabner, a member of the Fulbright Commission in Austria, and I come from Rhode Island, the smallest state in the United States. But don't be fooled by its size. Rhode Island is the second most densely populated state. More than 1 million people live in the 3,140 square kilometers of this New England state. Rhode Island has the longest official name of any state, the state of Rhode Island and Providence Plantations. In 1636, Roger Williams, a minister, left the Massachusetts Bay Colony in a dispute over religious views and established a colony for religious freedom and political tolerance. The area was given to him by the Narragansett and Pequot Native American tribes. Other religious dissidents joined, but following a disagreement, they split into a second settlement in what is now Newport. Later, the two small settlements rejoined as they battled the Massachusetts Bay Colony. Rhode Island isn't really an island. However, about 14% of it is bays and inlets, and there are more than 30 islands in Rhode Island's Narragansett Bay. Rhode Island also has a coast on the Atlantic Ocean, where you can find beautiful beaches, earning it the nickname the Ocean State. My favorite resort is Newport, with its fabulous beaches and famous mansions. The Breakers, the Elms, Marble House were some of the summer homes of America's most influential and wealthy families. Many, like the Vanderbilts and the Astors, came from New York City to sail their yachts, to enjoy their private beaches, and to play tennis at the current site of the International Tennis Hall of Fame. Today, a number of these homes are museums and showcase the Newport Music Festival. The Newport Cliff Walk runs behind many of these mansions and offers spectacular views. Worthwhile visiting are also the Newport Jazz Festival and the Newport Folk Festival. My favorite city is Providence, the capital, with its architectural and historical treasures. Founded in 1636, it is one of many cities claimed, like Rome, to be founded on 7 hills. In Providence, Benefit Street is a treasure of colonial and Victorian architecture. The mansions and more modest federal-style homes have doors that open right onto the sidewalk. The Providence Preservation Society has placed plaques indicating when they were built and who originally owned or designed them. The Providence Athenaeum, the 4th oldest U.S. library, was founded in 1753. The Greek Revival building was constructed in 1844. A frequent visitor was Edgar Allan Poe, who was a resident of Providence in the 1840s. Not to be forgotten is the Columbus Theater, home of the Rhode Island International Film Festival. The Columbus Theater and the Providence Performing Arts Center remain Rhode Island's 2 finest surviving historic movie theaters. Rhode Island is also known as the birthplace of America's Industrial Revolution. In the late 18th century, Thomas Summers founded the Beverly Cotton Manufactory using machine plants from England. Soon after, Moses Brown and Samuel Slater created the first commercially successful cotton spinning mill, which led to a thriving textile industry in the state. Silverware and jewelry manufacturing still exists in Rhode Island, but many other companies moved south during the Great Depression. The abandoned factories are now museums, offices, and housing. Today, Rhode Island's largest industry is health services, followed by tourism and manufacturing. Rhode Island is a state of many firsts. It was the first colony to declare independence on May 4, 1776. However, it was the last colony to become a state because the people of Rhode Island waited to be sure the Bill of Rights was included in the U.S. Constitution. The first U.S. Navy was commissioned by the Rhode Island General Assembly in 1775. The Rhode Island State House was the first building with a marble dome built in the U.S. in 1895. The dome of the State House is the 4th largest self-supporting marble dome in the world after St. Peter's Basilica, the Minnesota State Capitol, and the Taj Mahal, and one of the first public buildings to use electricity. The First Baptist Church in America is the First Baptist Church of Providence, also known as the First Baptist Meeting House. It was founded by Roger Williams in 1638. The present church building was erected in 1774 to 75. The Touro Synagogue is a 1763 synagogue in Newport, Rhode Island, that is the oldest synagogue building still standing in the United States and the oldest surviving Jewish synagogue in North America. Built in 1828, the Providence Arcade, also called the Westminster Arcade, was the country's first indoor shopping mall and was declared a National Historic Landmark in 1976. Although Rhode Island was heavily involved in the slave trade in the 18th century, it was the first state to send troops when President Lincoln called for help at the start of the Civil War. It was the first state to enact a law prohibiting slavery, and in 1866, the first to abolish segregation in public schools. For such a small state, Rhode Island boasts an impressive academic community, including Brown University, a private Ivy League research university. Brown is the third oldest institution of higher education in New England and seventh oldest in the U.S. The Rhode Island School of Design was founded in 1877 by a group of women who had raised funds to showcase women's art at the 1876 Centennial Exposition. The University of Rhode Island has nationally ranked programs in pharmacy, landscape architecture, and oceanography. And last but not least, world-renowned Johnson & Wales University's College of Culinary Arts boasts famous alumni, including celebrity chef Emeril Lagasse. I think you can see why I am so enamored with my home state, Rhode Island. Although small in size, it is big in treasures.